At 6:30. We're going to call our meeting to order. Let me say again, we want to welcome you to our council meeting this evening, and we ask that if you have a cell phone, if you would either turn it off or put it on vibrate to where it won't be ringing and interrupting any of the meeting. We just ask that you would enjoy yourself as we conduct this meeting tonight. So at this time, I'm going to ask us to stand. I'm going to ask Councilman Mike Chavis, if he would, to lead us in a word of prayer. And as you remain standing, Mr. Jared, would you lead us in Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As we continue to remain standing, ask Mr. Corbin, if he would, to lead us in our preamble.
In accordance with the inherent power of self-governance of the Lumbee tribe of North Carolina, the tribe adopts this Constitution for the purposes of establishing tribal government structure, preserving for all time the Lumbee way of life and community, promoting the educational, cultural, social, and economic well-being of the Lumbee people, and securing justice and freedom for the Lumbee people.
Thank you. You may be seated. Madam Secretary, you do the roll call.
Carvicus Barfield. Here. Sharon Hunt.
Here.
Janie McFarland.
Here.
James B. Hunt. Ted Woodell.
Here.
Wendy Moore Graham here. Jared Lowry.
Here.
Larry Chavis.
Here.
Douglas Locklear. Reginald Oxendine.
Here.
Jan Lowry. Alvin Mercer.
Here.
Corbin Eddings.
Here.
Dewey McNeil.
Here.
Marshall Locklear. Frank Cooper.
Here.
Annie Taylor.
Here.
Michael Chavis. Ricky Burnett.
Here.
Terry Hunt.
Here.
1, 2, 3, 4. We have a quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. At this time, I'll read our ethics statement. In accordance with the Ethics and Conflict of Interest, Ordinance 2010-0312-01, it is the duty of every council member to avoid both conflicts of interest and the appearance of a conflict of interest with regards to any matters before the council today. Does any council member have a known conflict of interest or any perceived conflicts of interest with respect to any matters coming before the council today? If so, please refrain from participation in those particular deliberations during this meeting. Again, let me say that we welcome you. Do we have any prior tribal council members present tonight? Any government officials? Again, we say that we welcome you.
We'd like to recognize Mr. James Benny Hunt and Douglas Locklear.
So moved. At this time, we will review and approve of the agenda.
Finance portion. On the agenda, we have a new grant called Native Pathways to Health. We need to add it to those budget. So the grant will be implemented on time.
Okay, that's good. I would also, Ms. Marshall is not here, or Ms. Jan, but I'm on that committee. Would like to add also tonight at the end, let me get all these. After Mr. Frank Cooper's presentation, it is the American Indian Vocational Rehabilitation Program. CLLR 2019-0620-07. And it is where we're receiving a grant for the human health. So we just want to add that on it so we can act upon that tonight so that they can go forward with it.
Excuse me, Mr. Speaker, where will we be adding that?
I'm going to place it after, I'm sorry, put it after economic development. I'm sorry. Yeah, after the economic development. I'm sorry.
Mr. Speaker,
Yes, sir.
I'm requesting that if on the COLR for Supreme Court, Ms. Teresa Locklear, if she is approved, would like to swear her in tonight as well, if possible.
Okay.
We add that to the agenda.
Yes, yes, no problem. This time, we'll review and approve we need now to approve the review of the agenda with the changes.
Mr. Speaker, I'd make a motion to approve the agenda with the aforementioned changes.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, let it know by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carried. This time, review and approval of the May Tribal Council minutes and actions.
Mr. Speaker, make a motion to approve the May Tribal Council meetings and actions.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, let it know by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carried. Look now, when we review and approve of the June emergency call minutes and actions that were taken.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion, need a second?
Second.
Been moved in second. All in favor, let it know by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. At this time, we have a presentation. Ms. Kayron Maynor, Lumbee Tribal Support Services, if she would come.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Would my staff come, please? Stand behind them. My name is Kayron Maynor, and I am manager of the Lumbee Tribal Support Services. We began in September of 2018, and our grant concludes June 28th of this year. We are very much in hopes that the Department of Health and Human Services will be refunding us. We've done great and wonderful things. And tonight, on behalf of the Lumbee Tribal Support Services, I'd like to thank Ms. Tammy Maynor, and I'd like to thank Ms. Celeste Hunt. I'd like to thank Ms. Sharon Bell and all of the finance staff, all of you. We gave you a little ball with our emblem on it. When you get stressed out, feel free to use it. But tonight, we will be presenting you with a drum. The reason we chose a drum to present to you, the drum, as you know, when our people many, many years ago were called together, it was by the calling of the drum. And if you'll put your hand on your heart, the drum represents the heartbeat of the people. So you are the heartbeat, you are our leaders, you've been given the calling to make wise decisions for the community in which you serve. In this program, we do put God first. We are a spiritual-based program, and we'd like to thank the Creator for what He has done. He's done great and marvelous things for us. So if you will look at our drum, each one of our members, we have two that are absent tonight. They're not present, but each person chose a word to state what this program has meant to them. So, but before we present the drum, I'd like to present the staff, Ms. Penny Revels. She is one of our culture enrichment specialists, and she is a recovery coach. Ms. Tina Locklear, she's a recovery coach. Mr. David Locklear, he's one of our peer support. And of course, I am the manager, David Dahl, I'm sorry. And of course, I'm the manager, Ms. Celeste Hunt is the director. And Mr. Stephen Kearns, who's not here tonight, he's our another peer support. So we've had a lot of support from the community. We have serviced 77 persons this past year, and our goal was 50. So we surpassed we have surpassed what our goal was. So if you just indulge us for a minute, I'm going to turn around, and each person will state just their name, the word they chose, and why they chose that word, and then we will be presenting you with this drum in remembrance of what you have done for this program, and we hope you will support us next year. Thank you.
So, my name is Logan Locklear, and my word would be serenity. And serenity to me in this program is peace within myself and peace with my higher power. Thank you.
My name is Keith Chavis, and I chose honor. I'm honored to be Lumbee Native American, and I'm honored to be a part of this program that has made a 360 change in my life. Thank you.
My name is Matthew Brooks, and my word is freedom. Like the commercial, free, free, free. Thank y'all for everything.
My name is Ronald Dow. My word's survivor. I have a disease, and I've been coping with this disease for a long time. I'm a survivor now for 3 years and 6 months. I am sober and clean. I'd like to thank this program. It's a wonderful program. Thanks to all your support.
Thank you for having us tonight. One thing I want to say is just thank God tonight. I would not be doing what I need to do if I didn't thank him tonight, because he's responsible for all of these things. He's responsible for all of our steps in life. And I also want to thank this lady right here. She doesn't get a lot of credit, but she does a lot of work. And I just thank her and I love her, and I appreciate the leader that she is. Thank you, every one of you.
Mr. Speaker, can y'all repeat the gentleman there and two ladies here? What's your name and what's your word on there?
Oh.
You can have a word.
My name is Logan Locklear, and my name on the drum, the word I put on the drum is serenity.
And you said your name's Mr. What?
Yes, my name is David Dow. Yes, ma'am.
And two ladies on the end.
So on behalf of the Tribal Support Services, the Lumbee Tribe, the Lumbee Nation, we proudly present you this drum. It has been signed, your initials are on the inside, and I hope you will read the words, and I hope you will carry them in your heart. And remember, you are a great service, but remember, the people are always the center of everything that you do. And we as a community must remember, we are to be a community. We must love, respect each other. Thank you.
Ms. Karen, I know you got a meeting this pressing. Can you get a picture with the?
Yeah. We want one anyway.
Some can go down, and then you guys come up in here. Come around. Come on. I'm on the stage, and the man's still tall and not looking. Yeah. There's some of the ones down. Brother.
Okay, Miss Ann, you guys want to go down?
Yeah, y'all can go down there. Get with him. Yeah. Yeah, hold the drum.
Hey, brother, how you doing?
That's all right. They can hear my mouth. Oh, 1 second. Let me get him a picture. That's a rich rabbit. You don't have need a booster. Good. That's great. Thank you. He got 4 feet. We'll bring you a little stool. Okay. I need
All
a
right.
soapbox.
We want to say on behalf of the council, thank you for your service and what you do for our people.
Thank you so much. And before you guys leave, I'd like to make a motion to the body that we have some way that we can get this drum hung so that it be an ever-present part of the things that go on in this meeting. So the serenity and the survivor and all the blessings of Creator are with us while we're doing the work of the people. I make that as a motion.
A second.
A motion second. I know there's no question, no discussion. All in favor, let it know by saying aye. Aye. Motion carried. Thank you. Thank you. At this time, the chair will recognize and call Mr. Frank Cooper for the presentation of scholarship awards. And I want you to look out at all those beautiful young people. That's our leaders, not leaders of tomorrow, but leaders of today. And we just thank God for them.
Tanake Tianidu Frank Cooper. Welcome. We had 25 scholarship recipients, 5 of which are not going to be here tonight. Their reward will be sent to them. The other 20 will be called. I want 10 to come up on this side and 10 to come up on this side, and it's going to be separated high school and college. First will be Kirsten Freeman. Grayson Lee Hunt. District 6. District 5. Nakaya Locklear. District 12. Mackenzie Cummins. District 7. Madison Kennedy. What district? 9? District 9. Kendra Locklear. She lives at the Recreation Center. What district is that? 7. District 7. Christopher Collins. District 5. Thank you, Chris. Donica Hunt. District 7. Thank you. 7's on the ball. Nicolette Locklear. District 4. Damon Evans.
Yeah, District 13. Yeah.
District 13. You know. Aaron Lowry. Aaron, I want you to stand over here. Where do you live? It's District 7 is Wakulla, right? District 5? Okay, well, we'll go. Madison Oxendine. He said Wakulla. District 4. Harry Brooks. What district, Miss Carrie? District 7, thank you. Caroline Campbell. District. We think it's 13.
Don't think, just say it.
Miss, this is District 11, Karina McMillan. What's her? In Neverland. Marissa McMillan. District 11. I believe it's Kelsey Locklear. Kelsey Locklear, she's not here. Okay. Kristen Butler. What district? 9. District 9.
Thank you.
LaRon Locklear. What district? Reagan Lowry. District 6. Thank you, Miss Reagan. Anyone want to come up and take pictures should do so now. We need to hand out their plaques too, and then. Gonna bring them all over here.
They got them. Take that picture. I won't drop
Kirsten. Order. Grayson.
4, who's your family? Who now, baby?
Christopher. Okay, if y'all want to come over, they want to get another picture with the whole group. Yeah, 2 rows. Taller people. You picking on me? Come over here and get in the front. The twins get in the front. Y'all scoot over this way. I know, you're fine.
I was gonna say it, Madison, but I didn't want to embarrass him.
All right. I've been 5'8" since the 6th grade. Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you, guys.
Now you can tell when the family wants to stay, they can leave at this time, okay?
Speaker, I make a motion for 30 seconds.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I make a motion we have a 5-minute recess.
Okay, before I entertain it, to say to our recipients here and their parents, if you want to leave, you're more than welcome to go ahead, because we've got the tribal business. But if you want to stay and learn more about the business of the tribe, you are more than welcome to continue to stay here with us. And at this time, we're going to take a 5-minute break.
Nicola, we want to take a picture. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Familiar for some reason.
That's right.
Yeah, we had just got back from Minnesota. So. What you going out your
I got you. We'll call our meeting back to order. At this time, the chair recognizes Tribal Administrator Ms. Frida Porter. Update on the HUD visit. Ms. Frida? Or Dr. Porter, I'm sorry, Dr. Porter.
Good evening, Mr. Speaker and Council. I want to thank you for allowing me the opportunity to share tonight, provide you an update from the recent HUD visit. On June 11th and 12th, the HUD Eastern Woodlands ONAP office performed an on-site monitoring review of our housing and related programs. The team included Mr. Will Dawson, who's the Director of Grants Evaluation, David Thomas, Lead Grants Evaluation Specialist, and Mario Lindsay, Grants Evaluation Specialist. During the review, HUD reviewed our HUD-VASH policy, the admission and occupancy policy for rentals, our maintenance policy, as well as our updated procurement policy. And they were more than well pleased with each one of those policies. The housing program was given an overall clean bill of health for the Title VI loan guarantee for Dreamcatcher communities. HUD commended the team, the tribal administration, and the team on executing a leading HUD-VASH program in Indian country. HUD-VASH was referred to as a model program that could end homelessness for Lumbee veterans. This is what most governments and municipalities attempt to do within their jurisdictions. There were no financial or procurement concerns, and the HUD team stated that the Lumbee tribe is operating far above the HUD standard. And then finally, in closing, the HUD Eastern Woodlands ONAP Administrator, Mark Butterfield, says that we should do more ribbon cuttings and give him a reason to come to Lumbee country. And it was just a very good overall, a very good visit with the HUD office. So we would be happy to share the final report with you when it becomes available to us. And if you have any questions about the visit in detail, particulars about the meeting, just let us know. Give me a call.
Thank you, Dr. Porter. At this time, we have community comments, but no one has signed up for community comments. So we will go to our committee reports. At this time, the chair will recognize the Constitution and Ordinance, Dr. Reginald Oxendine.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. From Constitution and Ordinance, we have three items we'd like to address on the agenda. The first one will be CLLR 2019-06-2001, Supreme Court of the Lumbee Tribe of North Carolina appointment. I'd like to read from the third whereas. Whereas the Constitution of the Lumbee Tribe of North Carolina authorizes the tribal chairperson and the tribal council to make nominations and appointments to the Supreme Court of the Lumbee Tribe of North Carolina. And whereas the Constitution of the Lumbee Tribe of North Carolina authorizes the tribal council of the Lumbee Tribe of North Carolina to appoint the nominee. And therefore be it resolved that the Lumbee Tribal Council of the Lumbee Tribe of North Carolina does hereby confirm the nominee, Ms. Teresa G. Locklear, to the Supreme Court of the Lumbee Tribe of North Carolina. Therefore it be resolved, further resolved, upon swearing in of Ms. Teresa G. Locklear, will serve a 5-year term on the Supreme Court of the Lumbee Tribe of North Carolina.
Coming from committee, it requires no second. Is there any question? Any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none. Madam Secretary, roll call.
Carvecas Barfield. Sharon Hunt.
Yes.
Janie McFarland. James B. Hunt.
Yes.
Ted Woodill.
Yes.
Wendy Moore Graham, yes. Jared Lowry.
Yes.
Larry Chavis.
Yes.
Douglas Locklear. Reginald Oxendine.
Yes.
Miss Jan Lowry is absent. Alvin Mercer.
Yes.
Corbin Eddings.
Yes.
Dewey McNeil.
Yes.
Marshall Locklear is absent. Frank Cooper.
Yes.
Annie Taylor. Michael Chavis. Ricky Burnett.
Yes.
Terry Hunt.
Yes.
The motion's carried.
Thank you. Doctor, do you want us?
If it's okay with the,
Yes.
Ms. Teresa is here. Ms. Teresa is here tonight. We'd like to ask her to come forward to be sworn in.
All the council could stand, please.
Good evening, council. You will just repeat after me. I
Teresa Locklear,
do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the Lumbee Tribe
the Constitution of the Lumbee Tribe, that I will carry out faithfully and impartially the duties of my office to the best of my ability, that I will preserve for all time the Lumbee way of life and community, that I will promote education, social and economic well-being of the Lumbee tribe, and that I will strive to secure justice and freedom for the Lumbee people.
I'll do it.
What about all these pictures?
No, Doctor. All right. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. Thank you. Yeah. Thank y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, our next item from Constitution and Ordinance comes from CLLR 2019-062003, Lumbee Tribe Voter Registration and Get Out the Vote Drive. I'll read from the fourth whereas.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Yes, ma'am.
I think you skipped number 2.
I'll skip number 2. Okay, let's step back on the agenda. Apologize. CLR 2019-062002, reopening of the tribal rolls. I'll read from the fourth whereas. Whereas the tribal rolls have been closed since December 21st, 2017, and pursuant to CLLO 2010-012101, an act to provide tribal enrollment, Tribal Chairman Harvey Godwin has recommended the reopening of the tribal rolls on June 11th, 2019, upon approval by the Tribal Council of the Lumbee Tribe of North Carolina. Therefore, it be resolved that the Tribal Council of the Lumbee Tribe of North Carolina hereby reopens the tribal rolls to accept new members effective June 21st, 2019.
Again, coming from committee requires no second. Question?
I have a question. Have we made any determination as far as the criteria for new enrollment? Has it been laid out and shared with the public?
Danielle?
The administration, based on the chairman's recommendation and the passage of the new tribal enrollment ordinance that you all passed, has been preparing. In case you all did vote to reopen the rolls tonight, the plan is to get a curriculum that is approved by the tribal council to teach, but until that happens, to teach the information that had already been approved by the council in the prior ordinance. So essentially what we plan to do, should the rolls reopen, is to teach the test. So the knowledge that was required knowledge prior will now be taught. So it's things that have all been approved by formal council, nothing, everything that folks have agreed is Lumbee. But the plan is to get a curriculum that is approved by the council, going through the education committee and recording a video. We have made tentative plans for the first class to be held after the chairman's state of the tribe, there will be a culture class, sobriety, social that night. And the folks who will be teaching that are staff here. It'll be Miss Rena Locklear, who is our enrollment director, and Miss Camera Brewer, who has been working with her on putting together the information that was a part of the test prior.
Ms. Sharon?
So what happens if somebody comes in tomorrow?
So the rolls are still currently closed, so you all will set a date to reopen the rolls tonight. And so whenever you set that date, we will then go from there. So we are preparing as if you would reopen tonight. So what we would do is then post on our website and our Facebook and do a press campaign to let folks know that the rolls are reopened. If someone is coming in for a new enrollment, they would be notified that the first class that will be held will be July 3rd, which will be during homecoming. So we thought that would be a good idea to tie in for when we think the most number of Lumbees will be home. That will be the first. That's 2 weeks, a little bit less than 2 weeks. So that'll allow us to advertise. So if anyone came in tomorrow for a new enrollment, Ms. Sharon, we would do all the appropriate paperwork and then inform them to be back on July 3rd for the class.
Ms. Annie?
Ms. Danielle, and we got a lot of kids, babies.
Yes, ma'am.
They still got to wait till that time?
No.
If their parents has already got a
No, if their parents are already enrolled and they're enrolling a minor, the way the ordinance is written, anyone under the age of 18 would not be required to attend the culture class.
So they can come whenever.
Parents could come in and enroll their children at any point, and the kids can come in. They can enroll minor children, and they would not have to wait on the class.
It could be the 21st then.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Janie, did you have a question?
She has.
Anyone else?
One more.
Ms. Wendy?
How can we open the rolls tomorrow if this has to hang for 30 days?
This is a resolution.
Any other question? Hearing none, seeing none. Madam Secretary, roll call vote.
Carvecus Barfield. Sharon Hunt.
Yes.
Janie McFarland.
Yes.
James B. Hunt.
No.
Ted Woodell.
No.
Wendy Moore Graham. No. Jared Lowry.
No.
Larry Chavis.
Yes.
Douglas Locklear. Reginald Oxendine.
Yes.
Alvin Mercer, Corbin Eddings,
Yes.
Dewey McNeil,
Yes.
Frank Cooper,
Yes.
Annie Taylor, Michael Chavis, Ricky Burnett,
Yes.
Terry Hunt.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 opposed. Fourteen yes, the motion carries.
Motion carries.
Mr. Speaker, next item under Constitution Ordinance, CLR 2019-062003, Lumbee Tribe Voter Registration and Get Out the Vote Drive. Committee heard a presentation from Four Directions, and we have a representative here tonight from Four Directions Incorporated, and the ordinance, the resolution reads from the fourth whereas. Four Directions Incorporated has expertise and knowledge of the state and federal election laws and has conducted successful native voter registration and get out the vote, native vote drives on a nonpartisan basis and has assisted the tribes across the United States in gaining equal access to the ballot box. And whereas Four Directions will work on the behalf of the Lumbee Tribe of North Carolina to achieve equal access to the ballot box, train and assist Lumbee tribal members in getting out the vote, the Lumbee vote, and protect against voter suppression and voter fraud tactics used against Lumbee voters in federal, state elections in 2019 and 2020. Now therefore be resolved that the Lumbee Tribe of North Carolina hereby conveys its full support of Four Directions Incorporated in planning and managing Lumbee voter registration and get out the vote, Lumbee vote drives on a nonpartisan basis, and approves of Four Directions Incorporated meeting and communicating with the North Carolina officials on the importance of equal access to the ballot box for Lumbee voters in federal and state elections. And now, therefore, it be finally resolved, the Lumbee Tribe of North Carolina requests that North Carolina officials cooperate with the Lumbee Tribe and Four Directions Incorporated in working for equal access to the ballot box for Lumbee voters in the upcoming federal and state elections in 2019 and 2020.
Again, coming from committee, it requires no second. Is there any question, discussion?
Mr. Speaker, I have to say that we noticed that Mr. Frank Cooper has left.
Noted. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker.
Gary?
So while I do applaud and I do support what Four Directions, their actions, I wasn't here when this was discussed in the committee meeting, but I do want to make this known that when they came here and they presented to us, it was very, very strange to me that they did not understand, I don't think, the voting and election activities of Lumbee people. Number one, we have 4 counties, not just one. They do need to understand that. And number 2, they talked about how here in Robinson County, there's no board of election members who were Lumbee. There's no election judges or poll workers that were Lumbees. And I was just very concerned because they're coming here and asking to work with us, and they don't even know that Lumbee people dominate elections in this county, where half the members of the county board of elections are Lumbees. When you go to every single polling place has a polling judge and polling worker that is Lumbee. You go to places like Prospect or South Pembroke or North Pembroke, everybody that works in there is Lumbee. And so it's very concerning to me that they want to come here and work with us and they haven't done their due diligence to see and understand that Lumbee people here, that we are very active. But what I do hope that they do is that they take the time to actually focus on, now granted, we need more Lumbee people to vote everywhere, especially in Robeson County, but we do need to turn out the Lumbee vote in Scotland County and Hoke County and Cumberland County. That is where we have the biggest issues. You know, you have 10-12% of the people in Scotland County are Lumbee, and yet there's no elected members that are Lumbee. You know, Hoke County, they have a county commissioner, they have a school board member, and in Cumberland County, they have nothing, as you know. And so I really hope that this group here comes in and turns out to vote in places where we definitely need and actually take the time to understand Lumbee country. You know, we vote. This isn't South Dakota where we have to travel 30, 40 miles to get to the ballot box. We drive a half a mile to Prospect School. And so I really hope that they take the time to understand Lumbee country and they want to get Lumbees out to vote. Because I can tell you, you go to John Station in Scotland County, there's plenty of Lumbees that don't vote. And they need to know, hopefully through the help of Four Directions, that they can get out and vote and they can have representation in Scotland County and Hope County and Cumberland County actually care about them. Because I'm telling you, when we read in the newspapers that people of influence in our territory tell us that Lumbee people need to sit down and learn and understand to take no for an answer. People of influence tell Lumbee people in Lumbee's community that we need to take no for an answer. I mean, that should upset every single one of us here, because I can tell you, since 1492, my people have been told to sit in the corner and take no for an answer. And I think that it's disgusting. So I hope that Four Directions can come in and get more Lumbee people out to vote, in especially places where there is rampant discrimination, rampant being told to be sit in the corner, you know, in places like Scotland County, Hope County, Cumberland County, where it's a shame. So that's just my little bit. I'm sorry. I'm passionate about Lumbee people everywhere, because every single Lumbee should feel safe as if they're over here in Moss Neck. If they're in Souder Tree, they should feel that same safety, security. They should feel that same representation, that hope, that pride that we find here in Robinson County, everywhere in our territory. So I just thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Jared.
Chairman, is there a representative of this organization here tonight?
Yes.
Would you like to address some of the issues he just mentioned?
Absolutely.
If it's all right. It's not necessary because, and I'm going to say this as your speaker, we have committee meetings and they're open. You're on the committee, but you need to be here for that. And like you said, he's just saying what he would like to take and see. And I know that they're going to take and work for us, you know, trying to get the Indians to take and go to it on that. Okay? So.
We get this gentleman's name and number.
He gave it to us at the meeting. Were you here?
Well,
were you at the meeting? Oh, okay. But he'll give it. You got any more of your cards with you?
I think so.
Okay. Mr. If you would give one to Mr. James. You got it? She's got it. She got a packet for it. Anybody else not get a packet?
My wife to the hospital, by the way.
Anybody not get a packet? Madam Secretary, roll call.
Carbeca Barfield. Sharon Hunt.
Yes.
Janie McFarland. James B. Hunt.
Yes.
Ted Woodell.
Yes.
Wendy Moore Graham, yes. Jared Lowry.
Yes.
Larry Chavis. Yeah. Douglas Locklear. Reginald Oxendine.
Yes.
Jan Lowry is absent. Alvin Mercer. Yes. Corbin Eddings. Yes. Dewey McNeil.
Yes.
Marshall is absent. Frank is absent. Annie Taylor.
Yes.
Michael Chavis.
Yes.
Ricky Burnett.
Yes.
Terry Hunt.
Yes.
The motion carries.
Mr. Speaker, I do want to thank the committee for their hard work, and I thank the council for approving our resolutions.
Thank you. At this time, the chair would recognize Ms. Sharon Hunt from Finance Department.
The only item that we have is CLLO 2018-1018-01, which is fiscal year October 1, 2018 through September 30th, 2019, Lumbee Tribal Budget Ordinance Amendment Number 4. Those items on that amendment include the UNC Healthy Native North Carolinians. It's a 2-year grant. It's $18,000. $9,000 each year to support the Lumbee tribe's self-determined health and wellness activities in the community through the Boys and Girls Clubs. These activities will surround gardening and healthy eating. We added a North Carolina Department of Public Safety, which is through FEMA, reimbursement from FEMA, $105,063.73 for the Lumbee Tribe's Force account labor and equipment during Hurricane Florence's emergency relief, $50,000 for engineer services for Maxton Pond. The one that was added tonight is Native Pathways to Health. It's a short-term community-based research project grant. It's geared toward gathering health data specific to North Carolina's Native communities to understand and address those needs in the future. The key components of the grant is to appoint a community leader to serve on a community advisory board, appoint a tribal health ambassador to conduct 4 talking circles, to collect data and to be the liaison between the community and tribal leadership and the research team, to appoint a youth tribal health ambassador to do an internship and provide professional development to Native youth, data collection to address the next steps to health concerns unique in the community, and that is like a $5,000 grant. Total funding for that grant is $5,000, and this the timeline for this activities must be completed by the end of September 2019. We just received this, and that's why it was added to the agenda tonight. So the ordinance states, whereas the Lumbee Tribal Budget Amendment is to be used to address the following changes, which I just read. Therefore, the Lumbee Tribal Budget is amended as follows to the fiscal year October 1, 2018 to September 30th, 2019. Lumbee Tribal Budget Ordinance, and therefore being enacted by the Tribal Council of the Lumbee Tribe of North Carolina, the following ordinance cited as the fiscal year October 1, 2018 to September 30, 2019. Lumbee Tribal Budget Ordinance number 4, subject to all inclusions and provisions. That's it.
You have your finance report. Is there any questions? Comments?
I have a question.
Ms. Janie?
Could you elaborate on the supplies and the contract services? Somebody? There's my understanding there was no salary other than, I guess, I'm assuming contract services. Is that correct?
There she is.
The supply line, the $2,000, that would be for the food to be purchased for the group sessions, the talking circles. And yes, there are no employees. These individuals, the, what was it? The Tribal Health Ambassador and the Youth Tribal Health Ambassador, those will come out of contract services.
As 3 or 2?
2.
2.
Is $2,000 to cover cost of food, building space, travel, drum group, and other costs associated with hosting 2 to 4 talking circles. $2,000 was to the Tribal Health Ambassador and $1,000 to Tribal Youth Health Ambassador. Total $5,000 funding.
One other question. Was this grant applied for and it's got to be ended in September, or?
It's a very short-term grant, and I think Ms. Karen Bird,
Just got notification today.
So okay. So basically then it's just like a 3-month grant, I'm assuming. You went on me. Okay.
Good. Any others? Hearing none, seeing none. Ms. Annie?
The contract service.
Ms. Tammy, do you know? He asked the question which engineering department was handling the Maxton Pond engineering firm.
It's bids, and they're waiting for bids.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Ted Woodell's going to be overseeing the project, so you may want to get up with him,
Amen.
and he'll give you that information when they give it to him.
Okay. Madam Secretary?
Carvecas Barfield. Sharon Hunt.
Yes.
Janie McFarland.
Yes.
James B. Hunt.
Yes.
Ted Woodell.
Yes.
Wendy Moore Graham, yes. Jared Lowry.
Yes.
Larry Chavis.
Yes.
Douglas Locklear. Reginald Oxendine.
Yes.
Jan Lowry's absent. Alvin Mercer. Corbin Eddings.
Yes.
Dewey McNeil.
Yes.
Marshall Locklear is absent. Frank Cooper is absent. Annie Taylor.
Yes.
Michael Chavis. Ricky Burnett.
Yes.
Terry Hunt.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Motion carried. Thank you. At this time, the chair would recognize Federal Recognition Committee, Mr. Jared Lowry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The first resolution up today is CLLR 2019-062004. Resolution requesting support for HR 1964 Lumbee Recognition Act. I am going to start at the last whereas and then kind of explain why we presented this resolution and who we're going to provide it to. The last whereas states HR 1964 Lumbee Recognition Act will provide full federal recognition benefits to the Lumbee tribe of North Carolina, which first petitioned in 1888, and end the second-class citizenship of Lumbee people. Therefore, be it resolved, the Tribal Council of Lumbee Tribe, in accordance with completing the mission of advocating for the well-being of all Lumbee people, issue a resolution requesting support for HR 1964 Lumbee Recognition Act from members of the United States House of Representatives of the 116th Congress. So as things start picking up for Lumbee Recognition Act in Congress, what we are asking is sending this resolution to all the members of the North Carolina delegation, the leadership of the United States House, and the members of the committees that will actually vote on our bill, asking them to support this act.
Again, coming from committee, it requires no second. Is there any question, discussion? Hearing none, seeing none. Madam Secretary, and I would ask, Ms. Belinda said, even when you speak, saying yes or whatever, please speak into the mic because she's keeping notes also.
Carvecas Barfield.
Yes.
Sharon Hunt.
Yes.
Janie McFarland.
Yes.
James B. Hunt.
Yes.
Ted Woodell.
Yes.
Wendy Moore Graham, yes. Jared Lowry.
Yes.
Larry Chavis.
Yes.
Douglas Locklear.
Yes.
Reginald Oxendine.
Yes.
Jan Lowry is absent. Alvin Mercer. Yes. Corbin Eddings.
Yes.
Dewey McNeil.
Yes.
Marshall Locklear is absent. Frank Cooper is absent. Annie Taylor.
Yes.
Michael Chavis.
Yes.
Ricky Burnett.
Yes.
Terry Hunt.
Yes.
Motion carries, Mr.
Motion carried. Thank you, Madam Secretary. Mr. Jared?
The next resolution up is CLLR 2019-062005. Resolution authorizing the tribal chairman to engage firms on a pro bono basis. We'll start with the last whereas. Is whereas pursuing full federal recognition is a feat that must be accomplished with the help and assistance of Lumbee and non-Lumbee alike, and includes the full support and cooperation of the Lumbee tribal government. Therefore, be it resolved, the Tribal Council of the Lumbee Tribe authorizes the chairman of the Lumbee Tribe to engage 2 law firms on a pro bono basis to represent the tribe before Congress and the Department of the Interior on the Lumbee recognition bills pending in Congress. Specifically, the tribe proposes to engage Heather Sibison, a partner at Denton's, to take the lead in work on the bill in the House of Representatives, and Paul Moorhead, a partner at Powers, Powell, Stutt, Furville, to take the lead on the bill in the Senate and before the Department of Interior. Also, the tribal chairman shall provide updates to the tribal council on a monthly basis. So the reason that this is before us, a tribal chairman came to us in our committee meeting and stated that he was approached by two members of two organizations in Washington, D.C. that would like to represent our tribe and lobby on behalf of our tribe in Congress. From my understanding, Heather Sibison and Paul Moorhead, especially Mr. Moorhead, is very, very respected in Indian country, and they mainly service or work on American Indian legislation, I believe. But they came before us in the committee asking that we give the chairman the ability to engage with these individuals to do lobby work on behalf of the tribe on a pro bono basis.
All right, thank you, my brother. Again, coming from committee requires no second. Any question?
Can I make a statement?
Yes.
I would like to say that I hope the chairman will entreat Miss Heather McMillan Nakai as well to assist.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, seeing none, Madam Secretary.
Carvecas Barfield. Sharon Hunt.
Yes.
Janie McFarland.
Yes.
James B. Hunt.
Yes.
Ted Woodell.
Yes.
Wendy Moore Graham, yes. Jared Lowry.
Yes.
Larry Chavis.
Yes.
Douglas Locklear. Reginald Oxendine.
Yes.
Jan Lowry is absent. Alvin Mercer. Corbin Eddings.
Yes.
Dewey McNeil.
Yes.
Marshall is absent. Frank is absent. Annie Taylor.
Yes.
Michael Chavis. Ricky Burnett.
Yes.
Terry Hunt.
Yes.
The motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Jared. At this time, Chair will recognize the Economic Development. Mr. Jared.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The resolution is CLLR 2019-062006. Lumbee Tribe Holdings Incorporated Board Reorganization. Start with the last whereas. Whereas the Lumbee Tribal Council, in consultation with the chairman of the Lumbee Tribe of North Carolina, supports the reorganization of the governing board of Lumbee Tribal Holdings. Therefore, Lumbee Tribal Council issues a resolution of support reorganizing the governing board of Lumbee Tribal Holdings to include the following members: the chairman of the Lumbee Tribe of North Carolina, the tribal administrator, the speaker of the Lumbee Tribal Council, the treasurer of the Lumbee Tribal Council. Therefore, be it resolved by the Tribal Council of Lumbee Tribe of North Carolina, the following resolution cited Lumbee Tribal Holdings Incorporated Board Reorganization. In our last Economic Development Committee meeting, the Chairman Godwin, who's also the Chairman of Lumbee Tribal Holdings, came before the tribe asking for support to reorganize and get the Tribal Council involved in Lumbee Tribal Holdings, which owns the Lumbee Tribal Enterprises and any future for-profit organizations we may have. And the committee, working with the tribal chairman, decided that this format of adding two tribal council members, being the speaker and the treasurer, to this board was their wishes going forward.
Thank you. Question?
Yes, I have one. There's only going to be 4 members on this board. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
If there's a tie, who's going to break the tie of anything that's being discussed or voted on?
Well, Ms. Speaker, yeah, from what the chairman had stated is that having an even number is going to force the members to work together.
Friendly amendment. Therefore, B, could we change that to capital?
Go ahead, Ms. Cheney.
The therefore.
Last therefore?
B, the word B.
Got it. Do you have something, Ms. Carvecas?
Yes,
expounding on what Ms. McFarland just brought to our attention, when it comes to, there is a voting process on this board, am I correct? They do vote with issues that comes before the LTH board. To me, 4 people on a board like that can create a lot of problems when it comes to high voting. My recommendation is that there needs to be another individual added to this.
Motion.
Speaker,
No motion.
Okay.
maybe an outsider, someone else in the community.
Madam Chair, is that a motion that Ms. Carvecchia is making?
Well, you got the motion before you now coming from the committee that you got to act on. Then you can go back. And it's got to go before the full council. Yeah, even if it's a tie, everything is done from LTH. This board is going to say yay or nay. Right? It's got to come before the council.
Yeah, yes, Mr. Speaker. There are certain, if the LTH decide, wants to start a new corporation, we get the final say. Yes, sir.
Anyone else? Hearing none, seeing none.
Yes, was there not another person on that board prior to the meeting that you had last month? And what happened? I mean, was that person taken off or still on?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. The current makeup is a 3-member board of the tribal chairman, the tribal administrator, and the tribal housing director.
So there is 5 then?
No, there's 3. There's 3 right now, and so they're going to take off 1.
Oh, so you're taking the other person off?
Yes, they would take off the tribal housing director, and they would add 2 tribal council members. That was the proposal.
Well, one more question. Was there a reason to take the 5th person off or the 3rd person off and not add someone else in that seat?
Yeah, no, ma'am. This was the proposal that the chairman had brought before us to give the tribal council equal weight in decision makings of the LTH. So I don't know why the reasoning was for taking the housing director off. I don't.
Mr. Speaker, the bylaws of the LTH board, is there bylaws for this board? What does the bylaws call for the board members? Does anyone know?
Yes, ma'am. Currently, the bylaws state that there are three members: the tribal chairman, the tribal administrator, and tribal housing director.
Add like this without changing the bylaws.
Mr. Speaker, if I may say, I've learned this, and maybe some others can chime in, is that regardless that this proposal, that the LTH, the board of the LTH has to vote themselves to change the bylaws to add and take away members. So even if we would say add 30 members, add 4 members, add 3 members, it's still going to be their choice. So this was them coming to us, wanting our input, and giving us equal weight on their board. And I know that sounds weird because we own the corporation. I can't get in. I don't know the law. Don't ask me. But that's kind of where we're at right now with this resolution.
One more question. So the 2 members has been added, but the policy's not been changed. Is that?
If we pass this resolution, the LTH will reform. We'll reorganize the board to add 2 Lumbee tribal council members.
Madam Secretary?
Carvecas Barfield. Sharon Hunt.
Yes.
Janie McFarland.
No.
James B. Hunt.
Yes.
Ted Woodell.
Yes.
Wendy Moore Graham, yes. Jared Lowry.
Yes.
Larry Chavis.
Yes.
Douglas Locklear. Reginald Oxendine.
Yes.
Jan Lowry's absent. Alvin Mercer. Corbin Eddings.
Yes.
Dewey McNeil.
Yes.
Marshall Locklear is absent. Frank Cooper is absent. Annie Taylor.
No.
Michael Chavis.
Yes.
Ricky Burnett.
Yes.
Harry Hunt.
Yes.
We have 4 absent, 2 opposed, 15. The motion carries.
Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Jared. Our next item is from Health and Human Services. And again, Ms. Marshall is not here. I'm going to ask Mr. Corbin, would you read that for me?
CLLR 2019-062007, American Indian Vocational Rehabilitation Program. And before I start, I'll just let you know I will be making a change for some typos in the therefore statement, so let's prepare for that. The fourth, whereas the Lumbee Tribe Vocational Rehabilitation Program Director, Celeste Hunt, is requesting the Lumbee Tribe of North Carolina to submit funding for a third grant cycle. Therefore, be it resolved, the Tribal Council of the Lumbee Tribe of North Carolina does hereby agree to submit for the American Indian Rehabilitation Program and does hereby also agree to be the recipient of the American Indian Rehabilitation Program grant if awarded.
Submit or support?
Second that.
It had to be a second. Been moved and seconded. Any question? Discussion? Hearing none, seeing none. Madam Secretary, roll call.
Carvecas Barfield. Sharon Hunt.
Yes.
Janie McFarland.
Yes.
James B. Hunt.
Yes.
Ted Woodell.
Yes.
Wendy Moore Graham, yes. Jared Lowry. Larry Chavis.
Yes.
Douglas Locklear. Reginald Oxendine.
Yes.
Jan Lowry is absent. Alvin Mercer. Corbin Eddings.
Yes.
Dewey McNeil.
Yes.
Marshall Locklear is absent. Frank Cooper is absent. Annie Taylor.
Yes.
Michael Chavis. Ricky Burnett.
Yes.
Terry Hunt.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mr.
Motion carries. Thank you, Madam Secretary. At this time, I'll draw your attention to the calendar review. June. Is there any addition to the month of June?
Mr. Speaker, Houston also has a workshop on the 24th behind.
At the Ethics, 7:30? Yeah, housing work session on the 24th at 7:30.
Mr. Speaker,
Correct.
in reference to Miss Annie, I'm going to go ahead and make this suggestion. We're in a work session also with the ethics. It might take us more than an hour.
I will tell you, Miss Andy, the housing director will not be here on the 24th. He will be in a training in Chicago. If you wanted admin to be present for that, but the housing director won't be here that night.
We'll be discussing the IHP.
So if you choose to go forward, just know that the housing staff won't be here.
All of them?
Dr. Porter will be gone, and so will I. We're going to a training at the Hood office.
But how about some of the other staffs? Like Mr. P? That'd be fine.
Miss Tammy will be here. Well, no, Tammy won't be here either. She's got another engagement.
You gonna maintain that date? Change it?
I'll be gone, y'all gonna be gone all week?
Yes, ma'am. We leave Monday and we will return on Thursday. So we'll be back at work on Friday.
Mr. Speaker, while we're waiting, I just wanted to mention, for the benefit of those who would like to attend, on the 27th, Union Chapel Community will be having a community watch meeting at the Union Chapel Community Building. That's from 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. Everyone's invited.
The community watch meeting? Okay, 6 to 8. You're gonna,
Mr. Speaker, if I can make a suggestion, Councilman Taylor, it may be, if you want to schedule your work session following the chairman's State of the Tribe address, then the council will have the budget. And we use the budget to create the IHB, so you'll have the chairman's proposed budget after July 3rd, if that helps with your planning at all. No, that's the date that he gives the State of the Tribe address, so you'll have the budget on July 3rd.
Will you make sure I get one?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
He turns the budget over to the speaker following the State of the Tribe, and that's going to be that night.
What, July? When you ready?
is there anything else for June? Hearing none, seeing none. Go to July.
Mr. Speaker,
Yes.
I'd like to schedule a Constitution and Ordinance meeting committee meeting on Monday, July the 8th at 6:30. And I'd also like to let the council know and the community know about a Native American baseball game that's going on July the 3rd, same night as the State of the Tribe. It's going to be at Purnell Sweat at 7 o'clock. They're going to be honoring some former MLB greats from this area. And there was a good article in the Robertsonian about this team coming in, but they're going to have an opening ceremonies at 6:30, and the first pitch is at 7. And they're going to recognize and honor Gene Locklear and Dwight Lowry that night.
Thank you. Anything else for July?
Mr. Speaker, Housing, 7:30.
That's July the 3rd at 6:30. But that's the same night as our State of the Tribe address as well.
Ms. Annie?
Housing is 7:30.
7:30 on the 8th?
8.
Housing, 7:30 on the 8th. Is that a work session?
No, regular meeting.
Okay. Finance, 8:30.
Mr. Speaker,
Jared?
July 23rd.
Okay.
July 23rd, we have a Federal Recognition Committee meeting at 6:30 and a Economic Development Committee meeting following.
23rd, 6:30, Federal Recognition, 7:30, Economic Development. Anything else? July. You already see that you have the Lumbee Tribe of North Carolina Senior Miss Pageant on the 1st. On the 2nd, you've got Little and Junior Miss Pageant. Wednesday, we've already said you've got the State of the Lumbee Tribe address. On Friday the 5th, you have the Teen and Miss Lumbee Pageant, also at 6:30. On the 9th, District 12 Community Meeting, the Lumbee Heritage Elders Court at 6:30. And then 18th is our Tribal Council meeting. Is there anything else that needs to come before the board? Hearing none.
Stewart's Road.
Got it. Yeah.
Mr. Speaker, referring back to what Ms. Danielle had implied earlier about setting a date opening these tribal rolls, and we need to do that tonight.
That was a part of your resolution, Ms. Barfield. Wasn't it? Was it not? Okay.
21st was on the
So you were
resolution.
going with the 21st that's in the resolution tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is once the resolution is signed tonight, we'll make sure that that is posted, and we will post on our social media outlets and make sure that the staff is armed with that resolution and the dates for the quarter class. So we'll take care of some of that tonight, and then the staff will be armed with that in the morning.
Class is gonna be taught. How many people can you handle in one night?
Our fire code for the gym itself is 700. 750, and that's just for the gym, so the class will be over in the classrooms.
Okay, so, but, I mean, is the classroom gonna be big enough if you have a huge amount of people to show up?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Danielle,
Yes, ma'am.
is that also gonna be in Scotland County at that, or what y'all call the Boys and Girls Club out there too?
No, we're doing,
Which
so
cla-
we're working out the logistics. So right now, what we plan to do, we won't have the education class every night, every quarter class throughout the territory. So the plan right now is to have it here and then advertise that. And it won't be every week. It's probably be about 2 times a month. But we'll have that advertised to people well in advance.
I know you have culture classes out here on Monday nights,
Yes, ma'am.
and you have it in Scotland County on Tuesday nights.
Yes, ma'am.
So you mean to tell me my people's got to come all the way from Scotland County to Pembroke down here for classes?
They have to come to complete their enrollment application here as well.
Yeah, but that's the next day.
Motion to adjourn.
Have a motion to adjourn. All in favor, stand. Brother Doug, will you dismiss us in prayer? Amen. Hey, you all right?